Michelle, I've known for quite some time. And so today she's going to be showing you why you need to be considering TikTok and talking about some of the opportunities that are there and what she's doing to help herself and her clients actually crush it. So please welcome Michelle.
Today, we've got lots of ground to cover, and we're going to be talking about the TikTok shop opportunity, just like Kevin said and Shivali said. Unless you've been living under a rock, it is all the buzz, and rightly so. So I've already been introduced, but just high level, I've been doing marketing for over 24 years. I know it's hard to believe, but and been in the Amazon marketing space specifically since 2017. I've been on all the shows, all the podcasts, all the conferences, including the AMPM podcast with Kevin earlier this month. So catch that if you want more of my backstory, traffic and conversion. And I've launched over 30 brands on TikTok Shop and trained over 300 people, 100 of which was live, which is always a little, scary. So bottom line, they didn't just find me off the street, on the street corner, pitching TikTok Shop expertise. I've been around a little bit and I'm a trusted source for the most part. So let's talk about TikTok Shop. You guys hear this? Let's get it.
Every day I'm living in a movie. Yeah, everybody watching. Guys around
I'm so excited about teaming up with TikTok Shop to bring you some exciting new clothes and options that you can shop from directly from my live.
I love that. I love that video so much because, and that last line about discovery drives sales, that is the truth and the true opportunity in and around TikTok Shop. Some people don't realize this, but TikTok Shop was born from a hashtag. The whole idea of TikTok made me buy it. This hashtag has been around for several years. And it basically was like, hey, I discovered this on TikTok and I went and bought it. And here I'm showing it off again because TikTok made me buy this. And essentially, TikTok Shop allows businesses to showcase through engaging short videos, live streams, and creator collaborations. And users can discover and purchase products directly within the app, creating a smooth and convenient shopping experience. And we're going to talk about just how powerful this really is for you as brand sellers. So the opportunity with TikTok Shop has never been hotter. I mean, essentially, we're talking about 1 billion monthly users. They're on the app 17 times a day, with 83% of people saying that TikTok has influenced purchase decisions on what they're doing and what they're buying. So consumers are on TikTok specifically to be entertained. They hang out for hours. 1.5 billion monthly user base, spending an average of 95 minutes a day on the platform. I want you to just think about that. That's like at least 3 episodes of your favorite show on Netflix. It's like people are just like scrolling, and all times of the day, like we saw in that previous stat of 17 times, essentially starting the app 17 times a day. Kind of crazy. They offer a frictionless buying experience from creator to product page to checkout to back to scrolling in seconds, which is one of the huge reasons why TikTok and TikTok Shop is such a powerful opportunity for sellers right this second. So you can literally go from an organic discovery experience to a checkout experience in just seconds. And you can amplify that opportunity with some certain promotional activities that we'll talk about. So bottom line, TikTok Shop really helps build brands, not just sell products. So they have more high quality traffic, more sales and repurchases, have full visibility of data end to end, loop closing, loop closing data. So one of the things that I love so much about TikTok Shop is having previously just used TikTok to drive traffic to Amazon. So I have tried it a whole bunch, and it is so frustrating because Amazon's a black hole. They don't share data back with you. So if you've ever tried to run ads, drive influencer content, even do social media, like just focus on the social media side of TikTok or Instagram or Facebook or whatever it might be, there's no data back from Amazon, even with using attribution, because Amazon attribution is 55% inaccurate, to actually tell you what converted, what drove sales. It's kind of like a guess most of the time. And if, sales rise, you're kind of like, okay, well, what contributed to that? In TikTok Shop, you know exactly what contributed to that sale. You know exactly what social post drove how many sales, which affiliate is your number one affiliate. If you're running ads, you know exactly how those ads are performing. It allows you to speak directly with your viewers as well, your customers, your prospects, every step along the way. It's you, the face of the brand, your brand interacting directly with customers. So most of the time, most sellers, most consumers don't realize that there's sellers behind their brands on Amazon. They just think that they're buying a product on Amazon. That's not the case with TikTok. TikTok gives sellers the opportunity to interact directly with the customer on every step of the customer journey. So there's no question who this relationship is with. And there's serious marketing opportunities. And I'm such a marketing geek. I love all of the marketing opportunities that TikTok has. Just today, they released promo codes. Super excited about that. So let's talk about the full shopping journey within TikTok. Essentially, TikTok allows you to discover through shoppable content and through short videos and lives to select, basically go and learn more about the product on the product detail page, and then actually check out and buy, place orders and check out without ever leaving TikTok. So why this is so significant as a marketer and as the seller myself, if I have, let's say the counter to that is on Instagram. And if you've ever been influenced on Instagram, let me know, raise your hand. You're watching that content, and then the person is saying, oh, go to the link in my bio. And you go to the link in their bio, and it's some link tree that may or may not have been updated. And that link might take you to Amazon, where their Amazon storefront is like laid out all for you to have to sort through just to find the product that you were interested in, that caught your attention for just a second, that interrupted your entertainment experience that you were there on Instagram to experience. And now you can't even find what it was that caught your attention. You just give up in frustration. What I love about TikTok Shop is that you can go from being entertained, seeing a shoppable video, seeing something that a creator is promoting, to all the way to checkout in just seconds and back into your entertainment. That experience has very little interruption. So TikTok has several ways to check out. Essentially, they're going, you have the opportunity to go from a shoppable video to a TikTok Shop where you can see that brand's full lineup of offerings and go to the product detail page where you can then check out. But this is not typically the shopping experience. Usually you see a video, it takes you directly to the product detail page, and then you just check out. These are the things and ways that you can build your brand on TikTok Shop directly. So let's talk about the customer journey on TikTok versus Amazon. So previously, TikTok, when it was just a social media channel, sat a little bit higher up in the customer journey. So if you guys aren't familiar, the customer journey is this idea of a funnel, or this process where somebody goes from awareness to consideration to purchase to customer service to going deeper in their rebuy or loyalty to that specific brand. So previously, TikTok, the app, the social media side of TikTok, was just in the awareness phase, the awareness and consideration phase. Just like Instagram, it was like a place of discovery, a place of entertainment, a place to maybe get educated, but it wasn't a place to purchase. That was where you would go to Amazon, and Amazon fits squarely in the consideration phase. Like, I need more information. I'm aware of my need already, and then I'm going to purchase. So essentially, Amazon is solution solving. It's a search engine for buying. Customers are already aware of a need. They search, research, and buy on Amazon. Buyers don't hang out on Amazon for fun or entertainment, despite Amazon's best efforts with Amazon Lives, Amazon Posts, Amazon Inspire. And that's really why TikTok Shop has taken over in that regard. Not necessarily like, I'm not saying that Amazon's going away anytime soon. Obviously, that's a huge opportunity. But TikTok Shop now owns the entire customer journey, from awareness through consideration, purchase, the customer service experience, all the way to rebuy opportunities, average order value increases, rebuy rates, all sorts of things that TikTok Shop makes available to sellers to be able to do and accomplish all within the TikTok Shop platform. Are you guys seeing the potential and the opportunity here? And as a marketer, this is why I'm so passionate about it. Because if you own the awareness, if you are the one creating the awareness of the need, and you immediately go into a checkout scenario, you win. It's not, the checkout is not, okay, we're making you aware, and then you're being taken to a page where you and 100 other competitors are then brought up with different options, and people are like overwhelmed with options. It's not like that. It's literally going from awareness to checkout to back to entertainment in a matter of seconds. So TikTok really comes down to need awareness. Their focus is on entertainment and education. And their goal is to keep users on the platform with their addictive algorithms. Users are made aware of products, and the purchases is done within TikTok Shop with quick checkouts. And then buyers are back to scrolling within seconds. So that's really kind of the crux of TikTok Shop there. And live selling, I don't know if you guys have been on the platform yet. The live selling, it really had its heyday, I feel like, as far as US consumer behavior goes, in like the late 80s, early 90s. Saturday morning infomercials. Anybody remember those? I know I was like always sucked in. I was always sucked into those. And then there's QVC and Home Shopping Network, where, basically little old ladies hang out to buy kitchenware. But TikTok Shop specifically is bringing live selling back. And it's crazy. It's crazy the amount of organic viewers you get checking out your products live, seeing what you have to offer live, and it's a form of entertainment. So they're already on there to be entertained, and then they get to watch you pitch whatever it is that you have. That's kind of crazy. Also, creators have been kind of like put up on this pedestal as influencers, right? And this kind of title. And with that has come a little bit of a combative nature when it comes to working with brands, right? How many of you have worked with an influencer where you reach out to them, you've tried to recruit them, and they're charging like a couple $100 a post to like $2,000 a post, $5,000 a post for the honor to get to work with them? Anybody experience that? And then you're like, what did I get from that? I got a post. Did it do anything? Right? So the awesome thing with working with creators now is that they essentially become affiliates, because TikTok is rewarding them for sales that they make through the platform. So creators are now motivated to work with brands and to push products and seek out opportunities. It's no longer just like, oh, well, I'm a creator, and so my creative needs are above your needs as a brand. Now they're willing to be more collaborative with brands and focusing on content that converts and that drives sales, because at the end of the day, they want to make money, right? And we all want to make money. And so it makes it more of a win-win relationship. So that's one of my favorite things about this kind of shift, is it goes from the honor of working with a creator and an influencer to now like, okay, we're affiliates and we're in this together. So there's kind of 4 native ways to discover and buy on TikTok. There's the browse area, which is shoppable videos. That's what you would generally see if you're just scrolling through TikTok. You're going to have some content that is just entertainment content. You're going to have content that's educational and informative. and that sync to and are shoppable videos basically. And shop pages, that's where, brands show up with their brand presence, live shopping, like we discussed, and the shop tab. So that's the new kind of search functionality within TikTok that's all about finding and discovery and searching for solutions. It's kind of crazy, but TikTok has now become a search engine for a certain demographic. Anybody who's less than 25 years old, instead of going to Google with their questions first, they're going to TikTok with their questions first. And it used to be that videos were what was served first in the search results. And now it's product. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Like this is a significant opportunity. This is such a crazy shift. And I will say that almost like 80 to 90% of the in TikTok shop contacts that I have were recently recruited from Amazon. Like Amazon employees are moving over to TikTok shop, just like clawing their way over here. So it's very soon there's going to be some aspects that are native to Amazon that we'll start seeing show up in TikTok shop, especially this kind of search portion, the shop tab. And then the buying experience, like we talked about, is very seamless. From the product page to the checkout page, you literally can like sync your Apple Pay with TikTok shop, click the side of your phone, and be back to doom scrolling in seconds if I haven't, beat that into you enough. But let's talk about this idea and this question: is TikTok shop just a distraction for you as sellers? I hear this kind of objection a lot, and from really big sellers. And so I'm a little surprised. I'm always a little surprised because, like Kevin said, I think that if you have an opportunity to make money, are you going to say no to that opportunity? Especially when it's like relatively zero to low cost to get started. You already have inventory. You just bring it over to TikTok. So let's talk about kind of just some case studies really quick. Every time I talk to an Amazon seller who is looking to expand off Amazon or diversify their revenue off Amazon, they're usually happy with like, hey, if I can get 5% of my Amazon sales off Amazon, like my Shopify site or Walmart or Etsy or something, I would be happy if just 5%. So here we have a few sellers, and I'm just going to cruise through here. This brand got serious about TikTok shop at the beginning of April, and year to date, they are 8% of their Amazon sales on TikTok shop. This brand launched in September 2023 with TikTok shop. They're one of my brands. And we immediately went viral. Immediately, like the bestseller that we had became a bestseller on TikTok shop. And then as we got to know our audience a lot better and affiliates a lot better, launching products on TikTok shop with them, we saw a halo effect on Amazon every single time that we launched a new product on TikTok shop. It would go viral. It would go viral on Amazon as well. Rank would skyrocket and along with sales. So their year-to-date revenue is 11%. Our biggest struggle with this brand is every time we go viral, like it's really hard to forecast inventory for going viral. So we keep running into like our best sellers going out of stock because they just take off. So that, I guess that is like one of the sides of TikTok shop that is a warning, is that your shop could go viral and with it, your inventory. This seller, I did a big training in Cancun back in February, and in and around TikTok shop, this seller was doing 2 sales a day before my training. And after that, 180 sales in the week following. So I was a little proud of that. And then subsequently, we've been working together, and now their brand, they have 15% of their total brand revenue, of their Amazon revenue they're making on TikTok shop. I'm not going to talk a lot about these brands because these brands are just like killing it. They're 16% of Amazon sales for this brand. They're like, I just met with their category manager last week, their new category manager. They're number 1 in their category on TikTok shop, of all of TikTok shop. And their year-to-date is 17% of their Amazon sales. So I guess you have to ask yourself, like, is it worth getting started? Like, Yes. I think the answer is obvious, right? Like, I'm not doing a sales pitch here, guys. I don't have, like, this is, you already have the inventory, right? You're already selling on Amazon. It's not too much more difficult to extend what you're doing and get started with that same inventory on TikTok Shop as well. So, but there's some nuances to it, and I want to talk about those nuances. So there are some keys that are necessary to a successful setup on TikTok Shop. So this is where we're getting a little bit down into some specifics on setup. I am not walking you through a setup step by step at this point. This is not necessarily how to. This is more of kind of like lessons learned from setting up over 30 brands personally on TikTok Shop, and some of the nuances, some of the troubleshooting, some of the kind of like things to avoid, basically from a high level perspective. So this is kind of my setup checklist. To be successful, these are all the things that you have to do one time during a setup. You need to get through your business registration. You need to complete that. You need to link a TikTok social account that is US based with your TikTok Shop seller account that is US based. You need to create or connect a TikTok ads manager to that account, ads manager account to your TikTok Shop account. You need to get your shipping set up and your listing set up and your content optimized for TikTok Shop. You need to import available reviews, meaning if you have and this is all legal. TikTok Shop TikTok is owned by a company called ByteDance, and ByteDance owns lots of different tech companies. One included is the main tool that's used for importing reviews. So if you have a Shopify site or another website with reviews on it, then you can bring those reviews over. If you don't, you can import reviews from Amazon to your website and then import those reviews from Amazon. It's a little bit of a process. It's a process, but you only have to do that once to help you to start the process of building your review presence. You need to select and implement promotions for your listings, such as free shipping with qualifications, product discounts, flash sales, now the new promo codes that are released, and for select accounts, if you qualify, there's now a customer marketing whole section where you can go back and offer, present offers in app. So showing up in the customer's TikTok inbox, basically, like they already bought from you once, or if they're a potential client, you can get directly inside of TikTok users' inboxes with your offers. My marketing heart, it just loves this from an opportunity perspective. And we can actually measure how many sales converted from those messages. I love email marketing. I love SMS marketing. I love all of that. But sometimes we just can't close all the loops. And when we're talking native platforms and the marketing opportunities that are native to that platform, we're able to see all those loops close and the associated data with that. So we know what further to invest in, what's working, what's not working. And then, of course, the final step in a successful setup is making sure that you have an affiliate plan set up for affiliates, creators to find your products and to start promoting them, and to make sure free samples are available. We'll show that here in a second. So the first thing that I tell sellers to do, and you know this from, you guys are Helium 10 members, you understand the importance of product validation when it comes to getting started on a platform. And the first question you want to ask is, are similar products being sold on the platform? And there's a lot of different software solutions available out there. I like a platform called Viralytic. It makes it really easy to just search for a similar product to what you're selling and see what kind of revenue is being generated by my competitors on TikTok Shop. And you're able to quickly see, we can see the revenue, we can see the relevant influencers. Like in this example that I'm showing you, 607 relevant influencers. You can click into the specific brand and then go explore. Well, who are those influencers and what content are they producing? Here's the thing, guys. It's very rare for creators and affiliates to be brand unless there's some sort of like brand agreement, which very rarely is that the case. These creators are like, hey, if I can make money promoting this brand's ashwagandha or this brand's ashwagandha, I don't care. I just care about making money, right? So there's very little brand loyalty going on there. So this is a great place to start with answering the question, like, what's the opportunity for my products? And I always recommend that you as sellers start there first, is doing kind of that brand opportunity. You can also just go on the TikTok Shop platform, download the app, set up a personal profile if you don't already have one, and then just type in the search bar the relevant search term for your product and see what comes up from Shop. And in Shop, it'll show you how many sales that product made, how many products are hanging out in people's carts. So you can see just at a glance the level of popularity for your product to see, is this an opportunity for me to pursue? Okay. And then using a tool like Viralytic, Helium 10, you guys get on it. You get some TikTok Shop tools. We'll promote you too. Okay. The second thing that you need to make sure that you do is to review the prohibited products list. So just because you can sell something on Amazon and Shopify doesn't mean you can sell it on TikTok Shop. And this is probably like the number one thing that I see sellers screw up on, that they just like rush to get all of their products on TikTok Shop. And all of a sudden, they didn't ever check prohibited products, and all of a sudden their account gets deactivated because they're promoting products or promoting it in such a way that's either prohibited products or against community guidelines in how you talk about it. So the most suspensions and account deactivations could be avoided by checking this first. So essentially, you could even just search for it, TikTok Shop prohibited products policy, and go on there, or also look at their restricted categories on there as well to see, is my product a prohibited product? I've been surprised how many products are not allowed on TikTok Shop that are allowed on Amazon. And of course, on Shopify, you can sell whatever the heck you want to. So it's definitely one of those things that just because you can sell it somewhere doesn't mean you can sell it on TikTok Shop. And this is just from having been through it so many times. Business registration is not what it used to be. In September, I was able to get just like a ton of brands on TikTok Shop with very little effort. Now there's a few more steps. Now there's a few things that kind of slow people down. It's amazing to me how many sellers just like give up. They just roll over and they're just like, oh no, I can't get it to work. And I'm like, guys, you are Amazon sellers. Selling on Amazon is not an easy thing. Why are we giving up so easily? Have some resilience here. Also, TikTok Shop says, oh, your account setup failed. I wish they would use different language, because sometimes it's not true failure. And sometimes it's like they're just, you get to a certain place in the process and then the system is moving you forward, but it needs more information. Like you need to submit additional documents, or you need to submit them in a certain way. And so it says failure, but really it's like you need to go add more documentation or whatever it is that they're actually asking for. So my advice to you is just keep pushing forward, keep pushing through that. It is worth it in the end. And just as a little hack is any requested documentation, even if it says that they accept PDFs and PNGs, only submit them as JPEGs. Like their system, their bots read JPEGs, and more often than not, they don't read PDFs. So just, even if it says it'll accept a PDF, just submit it as a JPEG, okay? Because it will help you. And especially if you're talking to support, it's so crazy because support can't see submitted PDFs or PNGs, but it can see submitted JPEGs. Does that make sense? So that's a little note for you to take and make sure that you're doing. Okay. This is relatively new. And this is around community guidelines. Community guidelines were updated mid last month. And essentially it's just saying, hey, this is the way that we behave on our platform. So they become a lot more strict about what creators as well as sellers can and can't say on their product, on the platform. And that includes your listings and what you say about your products, especially, if something has an effect on weight or weight loss, physical performance, or physiological effects or changes. So in this example, I had a seller reach out to me and they're like, I don't know what I did wrong. I don't know why this account is frozen, or this product is frozen. I don't know what's wrong with it. And all I had to do was read through the title to see what the issue was. They're essentially saying this eliminates snoring and enhances facial structure and post-workout recovery. Claim. Like it's physiological effects, physical performance, eliminate snoring. You can't say that on Amazon. How can you say that? Like, you can't say that on TikTok Shop either. And if you have any product in and around weight loss, I'm not saying it's not possible to sell on TikTok Shop. It absolutely is. But how you talk about it is really critical. You cannot say weight loss. You cannot say metabolism, fat burning. Oh my gosh. I had another brand that was just like beside themselves. They were so like offended that TikTok Shop suspended their product, their, key seller. And I was looking through their account. It was like weight loss, metabolism, And I'm like, you can't say those things. You failed TikTok, like you showed up like, oh, well, we can sell it on Shopify. Yes, you can sell it on Shopify because on Shopify, you can say whatever the heck you want about your product. There's nobody policing what you can and can't say on your Shopify site, but this is their market. And so they get to say what you can and can't say. And it's not just what you say in the text, in your title and your bullet points. It's also what you say in the images on the products themselves as well. So if you have packaging that you're showing and it's making claims, you got to scrub that. You got to get rid of it. If you have infographics. So that's why I say you're not just pulling over everything that you've created for your Amazon listing or your Shopify listing. You got to be really careful in what you're bringing over and being aware of these community guidelines, and what you can and can't say. These are the main ones. It's worth looking at. It's worth reading through. And I do talk about that extensively, in my course where I detail and outline it. But these are the top ones. Okay. Focus on your best sellers. I often see that the second somebody gets started on TikTok Shop, they bring their whole catalog of offerings over at once. And I really advise you to just test the opportunity and to learn the platform and which of your products is the best opportunity first. So too many products are a distraction to affiliates and your ops team. So in this example, this brand brought over, all of their products. And anytime that they were doing creator outreach, they basically, all of their creator and targeted plans was just like, hey, here's everything that we sell. And that's a lot. That's too much. So instead, we shifted their focus to, okay, what's your best seller on Amazon? What's the one with the best reviews, the strongest call to action, the most obvious for how it helps a consumer? And they're like, okay, this one. Their free sample request took off, the affiliate performance took off, their sales took off. So just don't flood. It's a distraction for your team. It's a distraction when you start to reach out to affiliates. So just focus on your best sellers first. Okay. Now, hear me out. This is probably the biggest warning that I have for you. Second to prohibited products. Okay. So this is probably the biggest area that I want you to be really careful with, and don't use the shortcuts. Okay. So oftentimes I see that sellers you're on Amazon, you're on Shopify, and there are apps available within TikTok Shop where you can just sync your Shopify account or sync your Amazon account and sync over your listings. So all of your listing content immediately gets imported into TikTok Shop. And I have seen so many issues with this. Like I've said so many times, there's things that you're saying on your listings that you can't say in a TikTok Shop. And what happens, guys, is that your listings are not reviewed by human beings, right? They're reviewed by bots. And what I have seen happen so many times is that people have synced those listings and they bring over their entire catalog, like we just talked about, and they're making claims or bringing over prohibited products or something like that they didn't know. I didn't know. And immediately they get account violations and they get 1 million account violations, and then their account gets suspended because there's a limit to your account violations that you can receive. And then you lose your account. Your account gets deactivated and it's over before you've begun. Right? So that's an extreme example, but I have seen that too many times to count. What also happens, especially in the case of like Shopify, for example, if you're syncing your listings, let's say you want to make a change to your TikTok shop listing, like your price or your title or something like that, because your listings are synced with these apps, you can't do that because Shopify and the Shopify listing owns the TikTok listing. So you have to go and make the change on Shopify if you want to make that change show up on TikTok. You see how that's a problem? Right. So, and it's not an easy fix. It's not just like a quick separation, because I have a seller, like I've talked about, he's number one in his category, and he set this up. When he first got set up, an account manager told him to do this, and they didn't know. These account managers have no clue. They really don't. And so he is dealing with this issue. If he were to try to separate at this point, he would have to create a new ASIN, for lack of a better term, a new like listing for one of his best sellers. And one of the like big areas of social proof on TikTok Shop is to see how many people have purchased the product. He would lose all of that history on that listing that now has like 100,000 purchases. So yeah, it's like a serious deal. So please don't do that. If you're wanting any kind of true shortcut, use the bulk uploading options. This is new, the import product upload accelerator. Go this route if you're looking for shortcuts. But like I said, I really do want you to like set up your listings manually first, at least the first couple, so you understand what TikTok is really looking for, so you can then go and add more products in the future. Offer free shipping. Oh my goodness, we're running out of time. Guys, we'll send you these slides. Basically, bottom line, you set up the free shipping opportunities within the promotions tab and not when you're setting up your shipping templates and your shipping solutions. So it's a promotion and you can apply all sorts of qualifications to qualify for free shipping. And Fulfilled by TikTok is now a thing. And they're going to start pushing this really, really hard. So start with your Amazon inventory, start selling via Amazon MCF, syncing with TikTok Shop. Once you've proven the opportunity for your brand, immediately apply for FBT as soon as you set up your TikTok Shop account, so that when you prove like, hey, is this an opportunity for me? Because MCF's expensive. You want to get inventory into FBT and start taking advantage of the opportunities and like super cheap pricing that they have for fulfillment over there. Okay. I'm going to cruise through this, but just like I showed you, there's kind of like the setup checklist, and then there's the ongoing success checklist. This is what you need to do ongoing, daily, weekly, monthly, to be able to make sales on TikTok Shop. Really what it comes down to is working with creators, making sure you have your free samples turned on. I have my 3 S's to targeted outreach, which is search, sort, and then save. And just a warning, if you are using bots or planning to use bots, they've now put regulations in place where new sellers are limited and restricted on how many people they can reach out to because of these messaging bots that are out there. So I really recommend focusing on target collaborations and reaching out to creators that way versus messaging and spamming methods. So this is my search and sort and save method. Essentially, you're under the Find Creator tab and you're searching via relevant search terms for your brand and your category. You're sorting. I like to sort by GMV. And if they're fast growing, that's even better because then they're hungry. They're starting to see success, but they're not so successful yet that you can't get the time of day with them. And then you hit the little save button over here. And then when you go to target collaboration up here, you can import your saved folks. I recommend at least 50 per day that you're reaching out to via this method. So Are you feeling a little overwhelmed? I know I've talked fast. There is so much to know, but I hope that you take away the opportunity and realize that this is a significant opportunity for you guys.